Kind of icing. This one is more like mayo, mayonnaise, right? It's a little different. And the reason we wanted to do it this way is because when you put on the transparent and it dries, it's going to have more of that domed edge, kind of like Los Ángeles. And you can tell from the boards over there, this one does take about 30 minutes to dry. So I'll put this on, let it dry. You can speed this one up with the heat tool. This one doesn't get fluffy, but I prefer, again, just to let it air dry. So just going to spread that on there. Also be careful when you're working with this, is that depending on the surface that you're working on, it's going to clearly reactivate or re-wet whatever surface you're working on, right? So you don't want to continue to work it, otherwise it's going to become color that you smidge. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's wetting your...
So right now it starts white, but it will dry totally clear, completely clear. So I'm just going to set that in the water, let that clean, let this one dry. It's going to be really good. It's kind of my drying station. I like having that, that's really nice. So let's go and ink one of these that are already dry. And I'm going to do that just using some different colors of sprays. I'm going to use spray stain simply because it's a quick way to add some color. It's not to say that we can't go in with our regular stains, we could do that as well. But regular stains, we're going to go in and we can add certain elements. The spray is going to allow us to distribute a lot more color in different areas. Okay? I can do this a couple of ways. One is do it like this one, which is spraying ink, and that's what's going to give us the blend. If I was going to do this on a background, like the green one that we just did, the pistachio, let's say I did this flourish on a white piece of paper, and I only wanted my flourish to be a color, but I wanted it to be different colors. Once this dries, you can take that same stencil, put it back over the top, it will lock in because this is raised, and then go in with your blending tool and go in and just start inking. And you can get that gradation of color. You can get your flourish to be yellow, pink, and blue, and then when you lift it off, it's that over white, which blows their mind, right? They see that and they're like, wait a minute, like how, I get coloring a paste one color, but how did you get all those colors in there? Because it's still a stencil. And it's very easy to line up because this has a ridge that once you put that pattern on, that stencil is not going to move. You don't have to tape it down. You don't have to do anything. So there's so many ways that we can work with these. So for this, I'm just going to go in, just use the sprays.
Yum.
I know, huh? Real yum. Good yum. Color palette is just, yeah, it's a whole lot of good going on here. Just start drying it. Again, I kind of like that spray pattern on the edge, so I'm going to go in with a little bit of water. Distress is very reactive with water. And then as I dry, I also just kind of go around and start lifting some of that, saturated area. You see, it really starts to open up. It's cool. And I'm just going to dry that. So you'll see that the paste works like paper. It takes ink like paper, gives ink back like paper.
Yeah, so it doesn't resist.
No, it doesn't. That's the cool thing. And you'll see that those white areas, that's because I sprayed the water on there. If I didn't spray any water, it would stay colored like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I can also go back and add color, which I will.
I like that.
It's really great. I love it. I love the look of it. So once this is dry, I can go in with my ink tools and I can add some color. So I can say, oh, let's go in with a little bit of peacock feathers. Let's add some peacock feathers.
Are we combining these now? Little cases?
The mini tins, yeah, these came out in July. Yeah, they're very cool, so you can use it with your minis.
Yes.
So this just allows me to add some color. change out the foam, tuck it back in. Let's go with the yellow. So I want to do mustard seed. And you can always go in and introduce color over the top of that. And it will always give and take. So even if you go in the blue and you go with yellow, it becomes yellow. So like I said, it's going to take the ink, but it's also going to give it back if you decide that you want to blend your color. Yeah, I think the effect of this is super cool. It's a great background, great something to die cut or punch out of if you want to. And we could even go in and, again, just go in with water or go in with some metallic. So I'll squirt some water and then we'll add some, let's do some metallics in.
Yeah.
We're going to use a metallic spray stick. So see those white things from the water? Love that.
Aging spots.
Yeah, it's cool. Alright, so for this one, I'm going to keep my distance because I just want to get just some specks of metallic. Because metallic, of course, is going to be opaque because it is a pigment. Once you get
I
rid
know
of it.
pigment and the ink pads.
Same
the difference
thing.
between the pigment and the ink pads and the dye.
Same thing.
Versus, in embossing,
Yeah, it was the
so
same.
it's basically the same thing.
Exactly.
Okay, now I can get it.
Yeah, once you get that, just that basic, it's
Right.
always be the same. This one's really cool just because it's got that hit of metallic when the light hits it. And that's what I love about the paste. I love that when you look at it, you just, morning!
Oh,
I
cheers,
love that when you do
girls.
that, you can kind of see that, but again, it's smooth. So if you were doing this on the front of a card, people think, oh, they use an embossing folder and then the inside is smooth. It isn't, but paste is multi-surface, so I could use paste over wood or metal or burlap or canvas or anything like that. So that's really the benefit of working with texture paste and ink, is that I can put it on any surface that you can use an embossing folder.